Last video I left off talking about ethnic groups and how they assimilated into the United States, into the culture, language, and so on. And I'm going to go on with that, but I do want to just throw out, I'm not trying to hurt anyone. That's not my intent. It's just what I've observed, and I can't change what I've observed. And if I speak kind of harshly, it's because I think so many people are just being wasted, and they're being pimped, and they're being taken advantage of. And I don't know if they don't care, they can't see it, or that's the way they want it. Back to the essay. The blacks have been here since the 1600s and still don't speak good English. This is a choice. They have made the choice, and they will have to live with it. If you own a business where your employee is to speak with the public, are you going to hire someone who might say, he be out to eat, or he be gone, but he be back after a while? You won't hire that person because they can't even speak English properly. How are you going to trust them to do anything else? It all stops before it starts because perception is reality. Blacks just can't seem to get it through their head how important it is to speak properly. And until they do, they will never be equal. Equal means two or more of the same thing. If I have an apple, you have an apple, where apples are concerned, we're equal. If we both have a high school education, we have an equal education. If we both have a high school education and one of us can't speak properly, guess what? One of us didn't pay attention in class. And if you didn't pay attention in that class, what classes did you pay attention in? Black people who try to speak properly, they're called an Uncle Tom by people who never even read a book. They're accused of trying to be white and ridiculed. Blacks think you have to speak jive to be accepted by other blacks, and that may be so, but it's a choice one has to make. You can fit in the hood, or you can fit in the business world, but you can't do it in both. If you were an employer and a person from France who couldn't speak English applied for a job where he had to speak to the public, would you hire him? No. It just doesn't work that way. Until blacks decide to learn to speak properly, they will, by their own choice, be unequal. You can't force equality on anyone. If someone chooses to be unequal, so be it. But don't complain where I can hear it. Blacks are pissed off because the country won't change to accommodate them. Many others are in that same vein. I know generations before mine of white people said blacks were lazy. One of the reasons they felt that way was because of the way blacks slaughtered language. I don't know if I've ever heard a black person pronounce the words ask or asked properly. I've heard the words ax and axed used improperly thousands of times. I realize for such a short word, ask and asked are not that easy to pronounce. But even if you truly can't pronounce them properly, if you have a good vocabulary, you can always find an alternative. I see a football player run the ball 30 times per game, or a basketball player score 50-plus points in a game. I had the privilege of seeing Michael Jordan score 54 points in person in Chicago. A lazy person can't do that, so they're not lazy. I've worked with black people and never worked with one that was lazy or any different than a white person or whatever. I think it's more a question of forcing yourself to do the things that unsuccessful people will not do, as the old saying goes. It seems to be more about instant gratifications. Blacks have been told forever that they are victims. They are disadvantaged. They can't make it in Whitey's world. The man is keeping them down. He's got his foot on their throat, and on and on. They're told this by other blacks and by welfare pimps of all races. I can't remember a white person saying any of these things about black people. It comes from within, from their own community. They hear it from the time they are in the cradle, from their relatives, from their friends, from TV, from people they don't even know. When you think about it, Failure is built into their culture. It is option one. If no one in your peer group expects you to succeed in life or pushes you to succeed, and failure is the number one option on your list of vocations, you will do as expected and fail. You will not be criticized if you fail, and you don't even have to think of your own excuse for being a failure. Your peers have a million excuses. Just pick the one you like best. They don't expect you to try again, as the old saying goes. They will expect you to find some hoes and put them bitches on the street, find some crack to sell, and get your black ass in a crap game in an alley somewhere. Sure, you'll wind up in jail, but your peers won't hold that against you. You were told you were going to fail, remember? Besides, while you're in jail, you won't have to worry about paying support for those 7 kids you've had by 6 different women. You'll get food, clothing, and shelter. What more could you ask for? It's all the white man's fault anyway. Blame, blame, blame. Never admit it is your fault because you bought into all the bullshit. You made the choice to drop out of school. You made the choice to impregnate 6 women with 7 kids. You made the choice to speak jive like your homies. You made the choice to be a failure. How can you possibly have the gall to blame anyone but yourself? If you want to blame white people, you should at least blame the right ones. I don't personally believe that you have the right to blame any white person. Why, you ask? I'm going to stop it there because this gets into, I think, somewhat of an interesting part of the essay. So I'm going to wrap this one up. There will be another one. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching.